For those of you who don't know, Ashton Kutcher partied a lot with Diddy in the early 2000s. Mila Kunis has allegedly moved.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher once seemed to have the kind of relationship that most people dream about. They were a picture-perfect couple, blending Hollywood charisma with a genuine, down-to-earth vibe that made their love story stand out. From their early days on the set of that 70s show where their on-screen chemistry first sparked, to their real-life romance that followed years later, it appeared they had built a rock-solid foundation. But recently, everything seems to have unraveled.
Out of the home she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she is aware of the fact that horrible information about Ashton and Diddy together,
as a shocking turn of events has brought their once seemingly unshakable marriage to the brink of collapse. In a stunning revelation, Mila has disclosed the painful truths that led to her decision to leave Ashton. What was once a love story marked by loyalty and understanding is now marred by betrayal and heartbreak. As details emerge, it appears that Ashton's past isn't as clean as it once seemed.
As well as video footage of the two of them together is about to be released.
Ashton's past isn't as clean as it once seemed. Rumors have surfaced about his involvement in questionable activities, casting a shadow over his public image. His long-standing friendship with Diddy, which has always been surrounded by whispers of wild parties and disturbing behavior, is now under the microscope. Sources close to the couple have revealed that Mila recently uncovered some private tapes that exposed a different side of Ashton, the side she never imagined existed. These tapes reportedly included footage that not only confirmed her suspicions but also revealed unsettling connections and moments that painted Ashton in a new, troubling light. This discovery has left Mila devastated, realizing that the man she thought she knew might have been hiding his true nature all along. To make matters even worse, these revelations come in the wake of Ashton's previous association with the Danny Masterson trial. His ties to the case have already sparked controversy and cast doubt on his character. For Mila, this was the breaking point. Her faith in their relationship shattered, and over the years Ashton and Mila carefully cultivated a near-perfect public image. Their easygoing banter during interviews, their visible dedication to various charitable causes, and Ashton's growing success as a tech investor all painted the picture of a couple thriving in both their personal and professional lives. Their bond seemed unshakable, and they were often held up as the gold standard for how to navigate a relationship under the relentless scrutiny of the spotlight. But beneath this seemingly flawless facade, hidden cracks were beginning to form. The betrayal was too much to bear. Feeling blindsided and emotionally wrecked, Mila ultimately decided that walking away was the only choice she had left. The emotional toll of these events has reportedly led to Mila's breakdown as she grapples with the reality of who Ashton truly is versus who she believes.
And he came over and I was like, I'm going for a run. He's like, oh, I'll go for a run with you. And so he comes over to go for a run. About halfway through the run, he's like, yo.
Him to be. Their seemingly fairy tale romance has now turned into a public spectacle of heartbreak, betrayal, and disillusionment, with Mila struggling to come to terms with the man behind the mask. As the world watches, the question remains, will Ashton address these shocking revelations, or will this be the end of one of Hollywood's most beloved love stories? Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's love story is the kind of narrative that seems tailor-made for Hollywood. They first crossed paths on the set of that 70s show, where their on-screen personas, Jackie and Kelso, had viewers falling in love with their playful chemistry. Little did anyone know that years down the line, that spark between them would reignite into a real-life romance. Fans were charmed by their journey, which saw them go from young co-stars to reconnecting as adults, finding a deep connection that led them to fall in love all over again. When they officially tied the knot in 2015, it seemed like the culmination of a beautiful story, a real-life fairy tale that many thought would stand the test of time. Together, Ashton and Mila seemed to have it all. They built a family, raising their 2 children while maintaining a relatively low profile, which only made them more endearing to their fans. The public loved them for being relatable, down-to-earth stars who didn't let fame get in the way of their everyday lives. Whether they were seen on the red carpet or enjoying a casual family outing, they appeared to be a couple that had mastered the art of balancing Hollywood fame with a normal, grounded life. Their charm lay not just in their love story but also in how they seemed like the couple next door, accessible, playful, and devoted to each other. Behind closed doors, rumors started swirling in Hollywood circles about Ashton's connections to controversial figures and past scandals that threatened to tarnish their pristine image. Although the couple always seemed to rise above the usual tabloid gossip, these issues began to cast a shadow over their marriage. Ashton's long-standing ties with questionable individuals in Hollywood started to come to light, and the pressure of these associations began to weigh heavily on Mila, who had always stood by him through thick and thin. The first significant blow to their picture-perfect image came with the fallout from the Danny Masterson trial. Ashton and Mila, both of whom had starred alongside Masterson on that '70s show, were drawn into the controversy after it was revealed that they had written letters of support for him during his legal battle. Masterson faced serious charges, including horrific accusations that ultimately led to his conviction. When the public learned about their support for him, the backlash was immediate and fierce. Many were stunned and outraged, questioning how Ashton and Mila, who had always publicly championed victims and spoken out about their values, could defend someone accused of such heinous acts. This public scandal not only damaged their reputation but also shook Mila to her core. It wasn't just the anger from the public that she struggled with, it was the growing realization that the man she thought she knew might have deeper, darker secrets. Behind the scenes, whispers suggested that Ashton's continued loyalty to Masterson put an immense strain on their relationship. Mila, who had always believed she knew Ashton inside and out, was suddenly confronted with unsettling truths about his past truths that were difficult to reconcile with the man she had built her life with. As the emotional toll mounted, even their united front began to show signs of stress. Mila's disillusionment grew as she grappled with these revelations, feeling the weight of betrayal and disappointment. Meanwhile, Ashton tried to maintain his public persona, but his efforts to keep up appearances only seemed to deepen the divide between them. The once playful and charming moments that defined their relationship were overshadowed by the strain of mistrust and unanswered questions. In one attempt to distract from the turmoil, Ashton spoke about lighter moments, like a time he invited a friend to go for a run with him, only to be followed by paparazzi. It was a moment meant to reflect his competitive spirit, yet it only served to highlight the disconnect between the public Ashton and the private one that Mila was now seeing. The same man who could laugh off a bad run with friends was now at the center of a storm that threatened to tear apart everything they had built together. As their fairy tale romance seemed to crumble before their eyes, Mila was left to face a heartbreaking truth sometimes. The person you think you know best can be the one who surprises you the most in the worst possible way. Now, with their marriage hanging in the balance and the public watching every move, the question remains, will they find a way to overcome these challenges, or is this the final chapter in a love story that once seemed destined for a happy ending? As if the controversy surrounding Danny Masterson wasn't enough, for Mila, the discovery of these tapes was a crushing blow. Up until that point, she had stood by Ashton through thick and thin, even during the tumultuous fallout from the Masterson trial. She had defended their life together, weathering the storm of public criticism. But the revelations from these tapes were said to be the breaking point, the kind of betrayal that hits on a deeply personal level. Sources claim that these videos exposed not just a pattern of questionable behavior, but a side of Ashton's life that he had kept hidden from her all along. Kutcher's friendship with Sean Diddy Combs has now come under scrutiny in ways that few could have anticipated. For years, Ashton and Diddy were known to share a close bond that went back to when Diddy appeared on Ashton's show Punk'd. Initially, their connection seemed like just another typical Hollywood friendship, filled with laughter and insider jokes. But as time passed, unsettling rumors started to resurface.
You gotta slow down but make it look like you're not slowing down.
Because I
don't want to look like I'm not gonna be able to finish this thing. And
about Diddy's notorious parties, extravagant, no-holds-barred gatherings that often involved questionable behavior, and in some cases the presence of underage individuals. In a resurfaced interview, Ashton admitted to attending some of these infamous parties but chose his words carefully, dodging any specifics by saying there were things he simply couldn't discuss. When asked to share a story from these parties, he hesitated, joking that there were too many he couldn't tell, almost nervously cycling through the anecdotes in his mind. What initially seemed like a casual, playful comment about Diddy's parties is now being reinterpreted in a far darker light, especially in light of Diddy's ongoing legal troubles and accusations involving misconduct. This revelation prompted fans and critics alike to wonder just how much Ashton knew about Diddy's world and whether he was more deeply involved than he ever let on. The whispers turned into a full-blown scandal when rumors began circulating that Mila Kunis had allegedly discovered evidence linking Ashton directly to Diddy's secret lifestyle. According to these reports, Mila found hard drives containing private videos from Diddy's parties footage that supposedly placed Ashton in compromising situations, far beyond just being a casual guest. These tapes, if they exist, reportedly show more than just a friendship between Ashton and Diddy. They reveal a side of Ashton that Mila had never imagined. Insiders close to the couple say that this was the moment that shattered everything Mila thought she knew about her husband. The tapes, which allegedly surfaced during one of Diddy's most troubling legal battles, were not just about casual partying. They allegedly contained footage that painted Ashton as an active participant in the darker side of Diddy's world. For Mila, it wasn't just the nature of what she saw that devastated her, it was the stark realization that Ashton had been living a double life, concealing parts of himself from her for years. The emotional fallout for Mila was profound. Friends close to the actress described her as being blindsided and utterly heartbroken. While Mila had always been aware of Ashton's Hollywood lifestyle and his long-standing friendship with Diddy, she had never imagined the extent of his involvement in that world. The tapes were a harsh reality check that left her feeling betrayed, not just by Ashton's actions but by the fact that he had hidden so much of himself from her. Shortly after the discovery of these tapes, the news of their impending divorce broke. The timeline of events moved quickly. Mila was reportedly seen moving out of their shared home just days after she uncovered the footage. She officially filed for divorce not long after, and while her public statement about the split was calm and measured, those close to the situation revealed that her decision to leave Ashton was directly tied to his connection with Diddy's controversial lifestyle. Mila needed to distance herself from the chaos that surrounded Ashton, especially with the public's growing outrage over his links to Diddy. Despite her efforts to keep the split amicable, the reality of Mila's heartbreak could not be hidden from those who knew her best. Insiders revealed that Mila felt emotionally drained and utterly disillusioned, questioning the entire foundation of her relationship with Ashton. The betrayal left her in a state of emotional turmoil, as she struggled to come to terms with the man she had loved and trusted for so many years. As the divorce proceedings began to unfold, there was immediate speculation about a potential custody battle over their 2 children. Mila was determined to shield her kids from the drama that had engulfed her marriage, but with the intense media spotlight, keeping their lives private became an increasingly difficult task. Ashton, despite the controversies, remains a devoted father, but there are questions about how his actions will affect his relationship with his children in the long run. The challenge of co-parenting amid such public and private turmoil is immense, and insiders suggest that while both Mila and Ashton are committed to raising their children together, the path forward is fraught with complications. Financially, the stakes are also incredibly high. Both Ashton and Mila have amassed considerable fortunes through their acting careers, investments, and business ventures. Their divorce could turn into one of the most significant celebrity settlements in recent years, with assets, properties, and business interests on the line. But for Mila, the real cost of this breakup isn't just about money, it's the emotional toll of losing the life she thought she had, realizing that the fairy tale romance she built with Ashton was based on a version of him that may never have truly existed. The devastation Mila Kunis is experiencing in the wake of Ashton Kutcher's betrayal has left her facing a long and difficult road to rebuilding her life. For nearly 2 decades, Ashton was a regular at Diddy's infamous parties, a friendship that many thought was just another Hollywood connection, but now appears to have been far more complicated. Currently, Diddy is awaiting trial at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center in New York City on serious charges, including human trafficking, racketeering, and allegations of using his power for exploitative purposes. As these charges against Diddy gain public attention, Ashton's reputation has also come under fire, largely due to his long-standing association with Diddy's party scene. Social media has been ablaze with backlash, with many people openly questioning Ashton's character and the life he has been leading in the shadows. The online discourse is filled with skepticism, with one commenter suggesting, "Makes one wonder if Ashton Kutcher ever used his position with Thorne to harm a child. Everything he has done with that organization is questionable. I would hope he's being investigated." Another added, "Ash is a creep, he acts so innocent, but he is not." The scrutiny intensified as more people began discussing Ashton's alleged infidelity, with many highlighting that Mila had taken him back multiple times in the past. They speculated that the revelations about his deeper involvement in Diddy's world might have been the final straw for her. It's becoming clear that Ashton's issues go far beyond his association with Danny Masterson. The resurfacing stories of his participation in Diddy's wild party scene have left the public questioning the dual life he seems to have led, one that portrayed him as a loving husband and father, while engaging in activities that don't align with that image. For Mila, the moment she decided to walk away from Ashton wasn't just a turning point in their marriage, it marked a significant shift in her public image as well. No longer seen as just the supportive partner standing by her husband's side, Mila is now being recognized as a woman who chose to reclaim her dignity and break free from a relationship filled with betrayal and hidden truths. Her decision has earned her respect from fans and onlookers who see her as someone who refused to compromise her values for the sake of maintaining appearances. As for Ashton, his future remains uncertain. The damage to his public image has been substantial, and his once stellar reputation as a devoted family man and advocate against child exploitation is now tainted by these allegations and his long-standing ties to Diddy's controversial lifestyle. People are questioning whether he can ever fully recover from this series of scandals, or if his career and public persona have been permanently tarnished by these revelations. The question on everyone's mind is whether Ashton will find a way to rebuild his life and career, or if the truth of his past has finally caught up with him for good. As Mila embarks on the challenging journey of rebuilding her life, she's finding strength in her decision to distance herself from the chaos that once surrounded her. This is more than just a marital split, it's a personal rebirth for Mila, a step toward healing from the emotional turmoil caused by Ashton's hidden life. She's now focusing on protecting her children and shielding them from the fallout, all while leaning on her closest friends and family for support. In the end, Mila's decision to leave Ashton represents a new chapter, one where she's prioritizing her well-being and that of her children above all else. For Ashton, however, the road ahead looks far more complicated. Whether he'll be able to repair his image and make amends for the—
He was losing it, right? Like he was like me right now with the wings and the heat's starting to kick up, and he's like, and we finish out the run.
Let us know your thoughts on this split. Do you think Mila made the right decision? And what do you think lies ahead for Ashton in the wake of these allegations? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates on this unfolding story.